Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, the 3T Path channel. My name is Giridhari Das, and today I'll be talking about 7 benefits of being in the here and now, of mindfulness. Being in the here and now, mindfulness is a major aspect of the 3T Path. I always teach it's one of the avenues of perfection. It's the portal through which you will attain all higher stages of consciousness and well-being. But here I just want to give you 7 highlights. There are so many, but just 7 highlights to encourage you to search out this state of mind to be more in the here and now. First of all, being in the here and now will improve your relationships and your social skills. Why? You've had this experience when you're relating with someone, when you're speaking with someone, even if you're just writing to someone or messaging, but what to speak of face-to-face time, when you're absolutely present and you're talking to people and you're looking into their eyes, you're connecting with them, you're trying to understand what they're saying, you're trying to pick up what they're feeling. It's completely different. The level of communication is completely different from when you're not interested, when you're not paying attention. And you've been on both sides of this kind of exchange, where either you're not paying attention or you were trying to say something which was important to you and the other person wasn't really there, and you could feel that, like, this person isn't listening to me, it's not connecting, they're sitting in front of me, they're even looking at me, but they're not really hearing me or seeing me. You've had this experience before. And so this is very damaging because it creates like an ill feeling, just leaves like a bad taste in your mouth. It deteriorates the relationship when these moments happen. So whenever you're fully present, then you can fully perceive what the person is trying to say and grow from there. 2, creative thinking. Why? When you're absolutely involved, focused on your action, involved with what you're doing, your mind is completely present there. All of you is participating in that action, be it writing something, whatever you're doing. If you're working on a project, you're physically doing something, you're running, you're doing sport, whatever it is. When you're completely present, all of you is there. And when all of you is there, then you can perceive aspects of that action which you weren't picking up before because this wasn't enough of you to pay attention to what was going on. But when you're fully present, you can see all of what's going on. You can really feel the whole dimension of that action. And again, it can be the simplest thing like washing dishes, showering, but when you're fully present, you can become more creative because you're seeing different aspects of that activity that you couldn't perceive before because you weren't fully present doing it. So you feel it, you see it, and then other ideas come, other ways of dealing with that same situation arise in your mind because you're fully aware of that activity. 3, you appreciate the world more. You can have gratitude. I just did a video recently. I'll leave a link to it in the end of this video. Gratitude is a way of life. You can appreciate the world more because you hear actually gratitude. Yeah, you can look back and be grateful. That's kind of like, oh yeah, it was a great being here, and I love this job, was really nice. You can say that, oh yeah, we had a nice time in this vacation. You look back, oh, it was very nice. That's fine. That's good too. But I'll tell you, it doesn't come close to when you're actually feeling gratitude, like completely connected in gratitude. Right now, like in this moment, not something that happened before, not a memory. You're not being grateful for a memory, but you're actually just fully connected to what's going on. If you've advanced to the stages of like devotion, of bhakti, of spiritual connection, then you're just fully connected with God and you're feeling this, everything's integrated. It's such an intense feeling. It's very beautiful, intense feeling. But it has to be right here and now. You have to be living it right now. Not a memory, not something but this right now. And then you can really connect with gratitude on a whole different level. You can try that if you haven't tried that yet. 4, the releasing limiting beliefs. we spend life, people say stupid stuff to us. Sometimes it's parents, sometimes people who are supposed to be our friends, sometimes it's colleagues, sometimes it's all of society. We have racism and sexism. Women can't do physics, or you're black, so you can't do this thing. So all these limiting beliefs get like thrown our way, and you absorb those things, and you're carrying them around. But when you're living in the here and now, the more you're practicing being fully present in your action, in the here and now, the more you can see how good you are. You can see because you're actually doing it. You are in full control of the action. You're doing it well. You're completely present. And in that space, there isn't so much room for self-doubt, for limiting beliefs, for emotional garbage. There isn't room for that because you're mindful. Your mind is full of the action you're involved in. Do you see? You completely, that's why it means mindfulness. Your mind is fully occupied with what you're doing. And then you can see yourself that those limiting beliefs don't apply to you. They're not true because you can see that you're doing what has to be done. 5, more confidence and positivity. Why? When you're fully absorbed in the action, when you're fully present, you notice that you are in command because you are the one doing the action. You can see that you are involved, you're fully committed, and things are happening under your command. You are in control now. And as you understand that you are actually in command, then the position of victimhood becomes pushed away, right? I talk a lot about this in the 3T path. Victimhood is a complete disaster. We have to completely eliminate any trace of victimhood in our lives. So when you thinking that, oh no, I depend on this and I can't do it because of that, and it's not, it's like you're not in command. You're saying that you're just too weak, I'm too, I don't have any power, somebody else has the power, I'm just the victim here. But when you understand that you're in command, then you get rid of victimhood. And then so when you're fully absorbed in the action, when you practice being fully in charge, present, committed to the action you're involved in, there is no room more for victimhood because you know that you're in command. 6, more focus. Why? Well, when you're in the here and now, that requires mind training. Being in the here and now is an exercise. It's difficult, it's not easy. That's why we talk about it and we have to exercise. But being in the here and now is an exercise in focus because after all, being in the here and now means you're completely present in what you're doing. So your mind is fully there. It's not traveling to the past or to the future. So that requires focus. So you're training focus. Focus is something you train. Here in this channel, in the 3T path, I talk about meditation. And there are different types of meditation. But one type of meditation, famous, Zen Buddhism made this kind of meditation famous, is attention. Where you just focus your mind on being attentive. You just like, what am I going to focus on? You just focus your mind on that one thing, being attentiveness. So that requires training. When you say, I'm going to just do this, in Zen Buddhist temples, you see they have like a little spot on the wall. And you walk into the temple, you sit down, and there's a little spot on the wall right in front of you. And all you have to do is pay attention to that spot. And of course, it's very hard because it's a spot on the wall. You're like, I don't have to pay attention to the spot on the wall. It's not going anywhere. It's been there for like decades. No, but the fact that you're training your mind to just keep its attention on that spot on the wall, that's training. That requires training. And of course, with the hundreds of hours of training, you start doing it and then you reach levels of, states of being, of mental well-being, ever higher, just because you're learning to focus and maintain your mind attention to what you choose for it to be attentive on. So attention focus is training. So the more you're in the here and now, the more you're training your mind. So as you go through the day, because in the 3T path, what we talk about is going through the whole day, bringing your mind always to the here and now, to whatever it is you're doing. You know, be it just like your work, whatever activity at work or leisure, you're eating, you're walking, you're talking to someone, whatever you're doing, you're having fun, whatever sports, whatever you're doing all day long, you're brushing your teeth, completely focused on that. So that kind of training all day long is going to make you have so much more power to focus your mind, because that's what you're doing. You're training that ability. So that's going to carry you. You know, it's going to be something you're going to have to use whenever you need. And then finally, 7, more mental health. And this is a big topic in the 3T path of how mindfulness is actually the cure to pretty much, I'd say all. I mean, I don't want, it's hard making these general, but I'll go that far. I'll say that being in the here and now is the cure to all mental, emotional problems. All of them. Why? In the 3T path, I talk about the fantasy paradigm. So I talk about being in the here and now, that's the reality paradigm, when you're living reality completely. Fantasy paradigm is when you leave the here and now and your mind travels to the past or the future. When your mind travels to the past, then you have, you're feeling like sadness. There's like some melancholy and sadness. Even when it's something nice, like I have children, and they're alive and healthy. But when you look at like pictures from the past, it's sweet, but it's like a melancholic sweetness. It's like, oh, like that's gone. That phase is gone. That's no longer, that doesn't exist anymore. So there's always a tinge of sadness, when you're like looking at the past, even when it's something sweet like that. And a lot of times it's not sweet, it's something horrible, like you're looking at the past to say, oh, I can't believe he cheated on me, I can't believe she did that, I can't believe I made that stupid decision, oh, I can't believe I made that investment, or I didn't do that investment, I can't believe, you're just lamenting something that went wrong, and you're going back to it, and you're just reliving the suffering for no good reason, for no benefit, you're just suffering again in the present. You're making a new, pain, you're creating new pain for yourself based on something that was already painful in the past. So in the past, depression, sadness, lamentation. And when your mind goes to the future, you have this horrible combination, this poisonous cocktail of the worst things. First thing, anxiety, right? Because your mind's in the future. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Anxiety. As anxiety builds and you have like darker scenarios you're afraid might come to be, then you have fear. And then you have envy, because somebody else has whatever it is you think you want or that you don't want to happen. For somebody that happened, they didn't have that bad thing, they have the good thing, so then you're envious. And then you get frustrated because you're so focused on something happening or not happening that you're frustrated with what's going on right now. So all these horrible things, you have fear, anxiety, stress, envy, anger. You get anger as well, because if you want something, you can't get it, and something's blocking that. Somebody did something, the government, the economy, the virus, and then you can't get that thing. So then you feel anger. So all these horrible mental states, anxiety, fear, anger, envy, all the frustration, all these things come with your mind going to the future. What I tell my students when they get into, curing their emotions, doing emotional cleanup, is that you'll learn from self-observation as you get deeper and deeper into the 3T path that all your emotional suffering always has a root in your mind leaving the here and now, always. Because it's really weird, it's a fantastic experience, but in the here and now, everything is perfect. I mean, you might not know this, but mindfulness training, mindfulness meditation, its primary use in the world is for people with chronic pain. See, like what? You have pain and you want to be in the here and now. You'd think that with pain you want to be anywhere else, but no. Mindfulness meditation has the highest, the most use cases of mindfulness meditation in the medical field is for helping people deal with chronic pain. They feel much better. They over, their sense, the pain is still there, but they feel much better. They deal much better with the thing when they're in the here and now. So being in the here and now really is the cure-all. I mean, whenever you think something's bad, the more you can bring your mind precisely to the here and now, not to today, not to this hour, not to this minute, but absolutely this moment, then everything is divine, everything is wonderful. It's weird, again, I mean, I know I can sound weird when I'm saying these things, but if you've experienced, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, you can experience it, it's not that hard. But the more you practice being the here and now, the more you'll feel absolutely wonderful. You can feel like it just push away any low state of consciousness, any emotional pain. Everything is pushed away when you come to the here and now. So that's it. The 7 things are improving your relationships, creative thinking, appreciating the world more, releasing of limiting beliefs, more confidence and positivity, more focus, and more mental health. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment with what you've experienced with being here now. There's so many more, so many more benefits, but I want to hear from you. Like what did I leave out that you especially like? So leave your comments or your questions on other topics, and have a wonderful day with lots of peace and lots of love.